The biggest myth in hospice care is hospice is for those who are in their final hours and days of life. It's really not. I'm not criticizing or faulting anyone who calls the hospice agency in the final hours or days. Everyone has to go their own path. But I feel that hospice is such a valuable resource that if you wait until the final hours and days of life, you're really doing a disservice to you and your family and your loved one who's passing on. You really have something that people have dedicated a lot of time and resources to create that is there waiting for people to call them to come out and help. And they are people that are in this because they love it and they love your family member. This is not a glorious job by going out and providing hospice services. This is truly a labor of love. And so that is the number one myth, is don't wait till the very end of life to call hospice. Wait, be ahead of the curve, be proactive for your loved one. If you see a major change or decline, call a hospice agency, someone you trust, such as Cadence, and have them come out and just do an evaluation. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to sign someone on to hospice. Just having them come out and educate you. And if the time's not right, then you have them as a ready and willing resource when the time is right. So there's no disadvantage to calling a hospice agency to come out ahead of time. For me, because I'm very involved in hospice, I follow all my patients once they sign on to hospice. So they don't lose me as the primary care doctor. If anything, I'm more involved. Some doctors don't fit into that mold. Some doctors, once you sign on hospice, they actually have me become the attending doctor, even though they were not my patient previously. And that's okay too. And it doesn't mean that that doctor does not care. It just means that he or she does not feel fully comfortable managing these end-of-life medications and so on and so forth.
The myth, I think, is that people think the last days of life, but hospice care can be provided at the time of diagnosis. So, when you've made that decision, you and your family, or, you're making that decision for your loved one to no longer move forward with aggressive treatment and focus more on comfort, quality of life, and dignity through, the last days of life, that hospice and comfort care can truly come into play. And that it's not just for the patient. A lot of the support is for the family. And so once a patient and family understand all the different moving parts that are there for them, the psychosocial, the social worker, the bereavement counselor, the RN case manager, all of those moving parts that are there for them, they are more willing and accepting to accept that level of care a lot sooner in the prognosis.